1 Chronicles 16, Worship in David's tent. They brought the ark of God and set it in the middle of the tent that David had pitched for it. Then they offered burnt offerings and peace offerings before God. After David finished offering the burnt offering and the fellowship offerings, he blessed the people in the name of Adonai. Then he distributed to everyone in Israel, man and woman alike, to each loaf of bread, a date cake, and a raisin cake. He appointed some of the Levites as ministers before the ark of Adonai to petition, to thank, to praise Adonai, the God of Israel. Asaph was the chief, and second to him were Zechariah, Jael, Shemiramoth, Jehiel, Mattathiah, Eliab, Benaiah, Obed-Edom, and Jehiel. They were to play harps and lyres. Asaph was to sound the cymbals, and the Kohanim, Benaiah, and Jahaziel were to blow trumpets continually before the ark of God, the ark of the covenant of God. On that day, David first appointed Asaph and his kinsmen to give thanks to Adonai. Give thanks to Adonai, call upon his name, make his deeds known among the peoples. Sing to him, sing praises to him, tell of all his wonderful acts, glory in his holy name. Let the heart of those who seek Adonai rejoice. Seek Adonai in his strength, seek his face always. Remember the wonders he has done, his signs and judgments of his mouth. O descendants of Israel, his servant, O sons of Jacob, his chosen ones. He is Adonai our God, his judgments are in all the earth. Remember his covenant forever, the word that he commanded for 1,000 generations, that he made with Abraham, swore to Isaac, and confirmed in decree with Jacob to Israel as an everlasting covenant, saying, to you I give the land of Canaan as your allotted inheritance. When you were but a few in number, very few and strangers in it, and wandered from nation to nation, from one kingdom to another, he allowed no one to oppress them, but for their sake he reproved kings. Touch not my appointed ones, and do my prophets no harm. Sing to Adonai all the earth. Proclaim his salvation from the day to day. Declare his glory among the nations, his wondrous works among all the peoples. For great is Adonai, and greatly to be praised. He is to be feared above all gods, for all the gods of the peoples are idols, but Adonai made the heavens. Splendor and majesty are before him, strength and joy are in his place. Ascribe to Adonai, O families of the peoples. Ascribe to Adonai glory and strength. Ascribe to Adonai the glory due to his name. Bring an offering and come before him. Worship Adonai in the splendor of holiness. Tremble before him, all the earth. The world is firmly established. It will not be moved. Let the heavens be glad and the earth rejoice. Let them say among the nations, Adonai reigns. Let the sea roar and all that is in it. Let the field rejoice and all that is in it. Then the trees of the forest will sing for joy before Adonai, for he comes to judge the earth. Give thanks to Adonai, for he is good, for his mercy endures forever. Declare, save us, O God of our salvation. Gather and rescue us from the nations, that we may give thanks to your holy name, that we may glory in your praise. Blessed be Adonai, the God of Israel, from everlasting to everlasting. And all the people said, Amen, and praise Adonai. So David left Asaph and his kinsmen there before the ark of the covenant of Adonai to minister before the ark continually according to each day's requirements, including Obed-Edom and his 68 kinsmen. Obed-Edom, son of Jeduthun, and Hosah were gatekeepers. Also he left Zadok the Kohen and as for the Kohanim before the tabernacle of Adonai in the high place that was at Gibeon, to offer burnt offerings to Adonai on the altar of burnt offering regularly morning and evening, according to all that is written in the Torah of Adonai that he commanded Israel. Along with them were Heman and Jeduthun and the rest who were chosen, designated by name to give thanks to Adonai, for his mercy endures forever. Heman and Jeduthun had trumpets and cymbals for music and other instruments for praising God. The sons of Jeduthun were to be at the gate. Then all the people departed, each one to his home, and David returned to bless his household. 1 Chronicles chapter 17, covenant promise to David. After David settled in his place, David said to Nathan the prophet, Look, I am living in a house of cedar, while the ark of the covenant of Adonai is under a tent. Then Nathan said to David, Do all that is in your heart, for God is with you. But the same night the word of God came to Nathan, saying, Go and tell David my servant, thus says Adonai, You are not to build me a house in which to dwell, for I have not dwelt in the house from day to day as I brought out Israel to this day. I have gone from tent to tent, and from one dwelling to another. Wherever I went throughout all Israel, did I ever speak a word to any of the judges of Israel, whom I commanded to shepherd my people, saying, Why have you not built me a house of cedar? So now say this to my servant David, thus says Adonai Zavat, I took you from the pasture and from following the sheep to be prince over my people Israel. I have been with you wherever you went, and have cut off all your enemies from before you. I will make your name like the names of the great, make your name like the names of the great ones that are in the earth. I will establish a place for my people Israel, and plant them so that they may dwell in their own place and shall tremble no more. Violent people will no longer wear them down, as they did formerly. From the days I ordered judges to be over my people Israel, I will subdue all your enemies. Moreover, I declare to you that Adonai will build you a house. It will be that when your days are fulfilled to go with your fathers, I will raise up your offspring after you, one of your own sons, and I will establish the kingdom. He will build a house for me, and I will establish his throne forever. I will be a father to him, and he will be a son to me. I will not withdraw my loving kindness from him as I withdrew it from the one who ruled before you. I will appoint him over my house and my kingdom forever, and his throne will be established forever. According to all these words and according to all this vision, Nathan spoke to David. Then King David went in and sat before Adonai and said, Who am I, Adonai Elohim, and what is my family that you have brought me thus far? And this was not enough in your eyes, O God. You have spoken about the future of your servant's household. You have regarded as the most distinguished man of men, Adonai Elohim. What more can David say to you for honoring your servant? For you know your servant, Adonai, for the sake of your servant, and according to your own heart. You have done all these great things to reveal all your greatness. Adonai, there is none like you, and there is no other God besides you, as we have heard with our own ears. And who is like your people Israel, the one nation on earth whom God went out to redeem as people for himself, and to make a name for yourself by great and awesome deeds, by driving out nations from before you, or your people, whom you redeemed from Egypt. You made your people Israel your own people forever, and you, Adonai, became their God. Now, Adonai, may the word that you have spoken concerning your servant and his house be confirmed forever. Do as you have spoken, so that it might be established and your name might be magnified forever, saying, Adonai Zavat, the God of Israel, is Israel's God. Then the house of David, your servant, will be established before you. You, my God, have revealed to your servant that you will build a house for him, so your servant has found courage to pray before you. Now, Adonai, you are God. You have promised the good things to your servant. Now you are willing to bless the house of your servant, so that it may continue forever before you. For it is you, Adonai, you who have blessed and it is blessed forever. 1 Chronicles 18, King David's rule expands. In the course of time, David defeated the Philistines and subdued them. He took Gath and its villages from the hand of the Philistine. He also defeated Moab and the Moabites became vassals to David and brought tribute. Moreover, David defeated King Hadadezer of Zobah Hamath. When he went to establish his dominion to the Euphrates River, David captured from him 1,000 chariots, 7,000 horsemen, and 20,000 infantrymen. David hamstrung all the chariots, horses, but reserved 100 of them for chariots. When the Arameans of Damascus came to help the king Hadadezer of Zobah, David struck down 22,000 of the Arameans. David put garrisons in Aram of Damascus, and then the Arameans became subject to David and brought tribute. Adonai gave David victory wherever he went. David took the gold shields that were on Hadadezer's servants and brought them to Jerusalem, from Tibhath and from Kun, Hadadezer's cities. David took a very large quantity of his bronze, which Solomon used to make the bronze sea pillars and bronze vessels. When King Tu of Hamath heard that David had defeated the whole army of King Hadadezer of Zobah, he sent his son Hadoram to King David to greet and bless him, because he fought against Hadadezer and defeated him. For Hadadezer had many wars with Tou. He also sent all kinds of articles of gold, silver, and bronze. King David dedicated these articles to Adonai, along with the silver and gold that he had taken from all the nations, from Edom and Moab, the Ammonites, the Philistines, and Amalek. Abishai, son of Zeruiah, struck down 18,000 Edomites in the Valley of Salt. Then he put garrisons in Edom, and all the Edomites became vassals to David. So Adonai gave David victory wherever he went. David reigned over all Israel, and he administered justice and righteousness to all his people. Joab, son of Zeruiah, was over the army, and Jehoshaphat, son of Ahilud, was secretary. Zadok, son of Ahitub, and Abimelech, son of Abiathar, were Kohanim, and Shapshah was scribe. Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, was over the Cherethites and the Pelethites, and David's sons were chief officials in the service of the king. 1 Chronicles chapter 19, defeating the Ammonites. Now in the course of the time of Nachash, king of the Ammonites, died, his son became king in his place. David said, I will show loving kindness to Hanun, son of Nahash, because his father dealt loyally with me. So David sent messengers to console him concerning his father. When David's emissaries came to Hanun in the land of the Ammonites to console him, the Ammonite official said to Hanun, Do you really think that David is honoring your father by sending messengers to express sympathy? Have not his servants come to you to explore and spy out the country to overthrow it? So Hanun took David's emissaries and shaved them. He cut off their garments in the middle of the buttocks and sent them away. When some people came and told David about the men, he sent messengers to meet them from the men who were thoroughly humiliated. The king said, "Stay in Jericho until your beards grow and then return." When the children of Ammon realized they made themselves a stench to David, Hanun and the Ammonites sent 1,000 talents of silver to hire chariots and charioteers from Aram Naharaim, Aram, Maacah, and Zobah. So they hired 32,000 chariots, along with king of Maacah and his people, who came and camped before Medeba. The children of Ammon also asserted from their cities and moved out to the battle. On hearing this, David sent Joab and the entire army of mighty men. The children of Ammon came out and took up battle formation at the city gate, while the king who had come were by themselves in the fields. When Joab saw that there was a battle line against him, both in front and in rear, he selected some of Israel's best men and deployed them against the Edomians. He put the rest of the people under the command of his brother Abishai and arrayed them against the Ammonites. He said, "If the Edomians are too strong for me, then you will help me, but if the Ammonites are too strong for you, then I will help you. Chazak, take courage for the sake of our own people and the cities of our God. Adonai will do what is good in his eyes." So Joab and the people were with him and advanced to battle against the Edomians, and they fled before him. When the Ammonites saw that the Arameans had fled, they likewise fled before his brother Abishai and withdrew into the city. Then Joab went to Jerusalem. After the Arameans saw that they had been routed by Israel, they sent messengers and had the Arameans brought from across the river, with Shapha, the commander of Hadadezer's army, leading them. When David was informed, he gathered all Israel and crossed the Jordan. He came against them and took them up positions against them. David took up positions against the Arameans in battle, and they fought with him. But the Arameans fled before Israel. David killed 7,000 Aramean charioteers and 40,000 infantrymen. He also killed Shapha, the commander of the army. Now when Hadadezer's vassals saw that they had been defeated by Israel, they made peace with David and served him. Thus the Arameans were no longer willing to help the Ammonites. 1 Chronicles chapter 20, clearing out the giants. At the turn of the year, the season when the kings go out to war, Joab led out the armies and devastated the land of the Ammonites. He went and besieged Rabbah while David remained in Jerusalem. Joab smote Rabbah and left it in ruins. David took the crown from the head of their king. Its weight was found to be a talent of gold, and it was set with precious stones, and it was placed on David's head. He took a vast amount of spoils from the city. Furthermore, he removed the people who were in it and set them to work with saws, sharp irons, tools, and axes. Thus he did to all the Ammonite cities. And David said to all the peoples, "Return to Jerusalem." Now it came about after this that war broke out with all the Philistines at Gezer. Then Sibbechai, the Hushathite, struck down Sippai, one of the descendants of the Rephaim, and they were subdued. Again there was war with the Philistines, and Elhanan the son of Jair killed Lahmi, the brother of Goliath the Gittite, whose spear had a shaft like a weaver's beam. Once again there was a battle at Gath, where there was a man of great stature who had 24 fingers and toes, 6 on each hand and 6 on each foot. He too also descended from giants. When he taunted Israel, Jonathan, son of Shemaiah, David's brother, struck him down. These were the descendants of the giants in Gath. They fell by the hand of David and his servants.